everyone. I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe. Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What's up, everyone? This is another episode of Next Level Thinking as we help you bring you to the next level. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always. But today we have a lovely guest by the name of
Nancy Smith. Hi, everyone.
Awesome. So go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself, about this awesome personality we have in her very own house.
Welcome, Chris, first of all. My name is Nancy Smith, as I said, and I am an author, I am a minister, I'm a motivational speaker, and a life and career coach.
You're just going to hit the water hose with this.
I mean, you have to. You have to, you know?
Cool. So we got a lot of moving pieces going on, which is fantastic. Yes. But let's go to the origin story. So, we have the speaker and all that much more, but how did Nancy, really begin?
So, I am a U.S. Army veteran.
Okay.
And
respect in the house.
Yeah. Army, go Army, by the way. And so I ended up getting out of the military, and because things were changing, I was just like, okay, I need to do something different.
What was, sparked that change? Was it, something going on out there, or was it, more personal inside?
Both. Yeah, so being in the military and being one that was accustomed to deployments and things like that, I just didn't like the shift of the organization, right? Because even though it's the Army, it's still an organization, and it was taking shifts that I was just like, this probably isn't for me anymore, right? And then internally, I knew it was a bigger world than the Army, right? And I wanted to discover the world.
And this is one of those times where you just want to spread your wings, yes, I have this here, now let me see what else is up in store.
Yeah, I just had an idea, it got to be something more than this, right? And I got out the military, and unfortunately, I was unemployed.
For how long?
Let's see here. So initially, I wanted to be unemployed for 3 months, right?
Yeah, we always
yeah. I was like, I got 90 days. That should be fine. Yeah, but I was under the impression I'm a veteran. Everybody would hire me.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that was not the case.
It
was not the case. So I did job search and try to find myself maybe about 8 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what I realized is I have led many soldiers to war and back and made sure, the person who trusted me with their child's hand, their life, right? I brought them back safe and sound and loved and poured into them. But in the civilian sector, they cared nothing about that. They wanted me to come in at the very bottom, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a hard slap in my face. And mind you, I didn't just do 3 years in the military. I did a total of 10 years in the Army.
So you had plenty. I'm just going to pivot right here because honestly, a lot of us think when it comes to military and things like that, they promote it on TV, the experience and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking just like everybody else, once you come back home, you got so much experience when it comes to leadership, communication, and all that much more. Most employers would be like, okay, we respect you for what you did in your country, and you're saying, oh, not the case.
Absolutely not. So what ultimately ended up happening is that they see, like I said, the military, oh, that's great, that's phenomenal, but that's just another organization. You don't have skills in this industry for this type of organization over here, right?
Yeah.
And so when you put it in those kind of terms, it just changes the whole dynamic of it.
Okay, so with that said, give this is gonna be your moment to shine too, really big, is what was some of the things that you learned in that particular moment? Because it's always something that when you face adversity or challenges, it brings something even better out of you. So during this, trial, what were you learning in the process?
Not to get comfortable in one set of skills.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the biggest lesson. Yeah, I figured because I had a great backing, right? I had traveled the world. I've accomplished a lot inside of the military, so I was relying on those skills, and I had really gotten comfortable. But now that I'm into a new world, because it's a whole nother world outside the military, I realized I was way too comfortable. So now I'm either gonna cry about it or I'm gonna boss up about it. And I saw a meme that says you're either gonna cry about it or boss up about it. And it's at the end it said I'm gonna do both. And I was forced to do both.
And that is a big, huge life lesson.
Yeah,
because
sure.
You can cry all day, but life's gonna keep going regardless.
Keep Yeah. And so at that point, I had to dig deep within myself and find a new me, right? Only thing I knew was being on time, being sharp, being proficient in the skills that the military taught me.
Which you did like the foundation, that's what you were taught in an organization.
Absolutely. But I figured that it was more to the world outside of the military, right? And so now I failed to realize then that means that it has to be more to me, and now I have to find me.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
And that's one of those, I think, if you really think about it, like or whoever you look up to, they always have that point where it's like, there's more to it than just this, or there's more to myself than just this. And I feel like sometimes you gotta be put in that situation or environment to wake you up.
Absolutely. I ended up going back to school, right?
Okay.
And I ended up getting my degree. But in the meantime, I started working at a nonprofit, right? I just needed something that was gonna balance the two. Yeah. I discovered about myself that what made me a great soldier was because I was giving back. I was serving the great people of the United States of America, protecting and serving them, and that meant a lot. So what I learned in that transition is that I have to be somewhere where it's rewarding, right? And so as I'm working for this nonprofit, working with veterans that have gone through the same thing that I went through, and now understanding that the world has such a high expectation for us, but failing to realize that this is all new to us, and they give us no leeway out here. Because like the stereotype is, you're a veteran, people love you. It should be easy for you. You were in the military, you should be able to survive out here. No, I mean a culture shock, because
it's completely different. And that's very, because honestly, I can't remember the stats on it, but they were talking about how a lot of people have served our country that are homeless. And
Absolutely.
That's something that we need to just imagine. You're putting your life on the line and you're doing everything or barely making it out alive. And now you're back at the very bottom.
Absolutely. And let me address the homelessness situation. So in the military, they tell you how to eat, think, dress, feel, process, and we're going to provide your needs. We're going to provide funding for you to stay somewhere,
it's like
to
a
live
system
somewhere.
in place while
Absolutely. So now, when you come out of the military, it's like going through a divorce, because you're divorcing your stability. It's a bad breakup, because once you're out of the military, that's it for you.
That cushion's gone.
It's gone.
Okay.
And now you're in a state of shock, like, oh, nobody's gonna give that.
Or like if I fall, it's like, wait a minute, I'm gonna fall.
I'm going to fall. Like seriously, I'm going to fall, right? And then the systems that are set up in place, Obama kind of made a shift in that, right? And it's better now, but it was real hard for us because we were fighting for benefits that we deserve. Most people are like, oh, you're taken care of for the rest of your life. No, you have to prove that you deserve or that you need those benefits. And that could take a year, it could take 5 years, it could take 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge shift. And then along this, of course, I want to hit on this because I really am a strong believer that you really grow into the person that you really should become when you're outside your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Yes. So put some more insight onto that.
So what I realized is, the hit back on what I was just talking about, I didn't realize of the system I was in and how comfortable I was in that system, right? It was natural for me to go deploy because that's what I was supposed to do. But now that I'm out here and the requirement isn't go and defend and deploy, now it's go find you and take care of you, rescue you, right? And I had to become my own soldier.
I feel like there was a quote in there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm kind of working on something too, match my rescue to be the proper title of it, match my rescue,
Awesome.
And so I was in a culture shock realizing people don't always show up on time.
Oh.
Yeah. People don't always do what they're supposed to do. Yeah. I also had to realize that the amount of money that I was making in the military was not just going to come to me out here. Yeah. And so now having to struggle to pay Peter and Paul. Yeah. and hoping that Samantha would let me hold $5, right? It made me look at myself and say, this is not it for me. This can't be life for me. And I contemplated going back to the military, but I was like, I didn't leave Egypt, right?
to go back.
To go back. Yeah, I didn't leave Egypt to go back, right? And so, that's when I started having to tap into my spirituality as well as my own power within, right? I had to start understanding faith without works is dead.
Ooh, completely.
Yeah, it's completely dead, right? So I had all the faith in the world that it had to be something more to it. It had to be something better. But now I had to really put in the work.
Oh, yeah, I definitely got to ask this question right now because I feel like this question right here impacts everybody.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, we all idolize different people and much more, and we pray like, oh, one day I'll hit the lottery.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm praying that. Oh, I'm laying on the couch, but I'm just gonna pray and pray and pray. That's gonna happen. But you're not putting no works.
Absolutely.
So going more in detail about actually putting the steps together to get, of course, have your faith.
Yeah,
but you
for
have
sure.
to walk into it as well. And
Absolutely.
I feel like too many people I want to do this, but that looks a little hard, so I don't want to do it. Or that looks like it's going to hurt, so I don't want to do it. Or that looks a little dangerous, so I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah, so my first work was to swallow my pride and take a job that was paying me $11 an hour.
Which was?
Working at a nonprofit at the front desk.
And I feel like pride is the biggest thing that people got to swallow.
I had to swallow my pride.
I feel like that's the biggest thing holding a lot of people back.
Absolutely. And that was mind you, I'm the cutest thing walking. I'm a soldier, and now I come from making massive amounts of money to $11 an hour. That's beneath me, right? And mind you, I have people over me that haven't been through any real struggles. And I'm sitting up here like, do you not know? Yeah. Do you not know? Complain about the dumbest stuff, right?
You probably get that. Like, you complain about that?
Absolutely. And me swallowing my pride and going home crying at night, and me saying I'm just not real sure about where I'm going and if this is it. But I know I'm going somewhere.
It's something better.
It's something better, right? And so in that moment, I started to realize I had to find the opportunities in the weaknesses, and my weaknesses and other people's weaknesses around me. And what that means is that my weakness was my pride. Like, I'm weak now because I don't feel as great about myself, right? But the question is, am I going to look past my weakness and see their weakness and find strength in it, right?
That's very impact power right there. It's find strength in other people's weakness. Man.
Yeah. And so instead of becoming a competition to them, which most people start to do,
a lot of people.
Yeah. But you don't become a competition to them. You become a help to them, and you will excel faster. And so what that means is that, again, tapping into my spirituality, the Lord was dealing with me about, you like to help, that's your gift, you help, you serve. Then find the people that need help, and that's where your strength is going to come in. So I naturally flow in helping people, right? And so they're weak in that area, and you're complaining about it, and it's easy. I'll do that for you, not a problem. I can help you with that. Why don't you do this, this, and this? And so within 90 days, which is unheard of for this particular nonprofit, they promoted me up to an employment specialist. It was like, we can't have you here working the front desk. Not with this. And it was a unanimous vote. And they were petitioning corporate like, I know this is not the rules, but we need her at a higher level. Yeah, we need her here helping us, right? And so I went from making $11 an hour to making $34,000, right? And so it was a huge jump, but I'm like, this can't be it.
Just more.
It can't be it, right? And so again, me developing myself and trying to figure out where's the help, where's the gap, where's the weakness, right? And how can I help, right? So the program was suffering in numbers, okay? And I was like, I can do this. And so, of course, I prayed about it. I said, God, this is going to be fun. I think I can do this, right? And needless to say, I did. I started hitting the pavement, helping numbers come in. That's where my skill comes in, and helping nonprofits find how to find their numbers, make their numbers, right? And then again, another 90 days. Next thing you know, they made me a program coordinator. I'm right up under the program manager at this point, right? And so when the Bible says that your gift will make room for you, it did just that. It did just that. And unfortunately, some people got weeded out behind that. Yeah. And I was hurt behind it. I was hurt behind it. I was like, God, the point was not to push somebody else out the way, right? I was trying to hurt them. But the fact of the matter is, they didn't get pushed out the way. They moved out the way. Yeah, they moved out.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's one thing I'm experiencing not only in my own life, and I feel like everybody goes through, is like when you start walking into your vision and things like that, the people that are supposed to be there will stay. The people who are not will slowly trickle away. Yeah. And because if you don't, it's nothing worse than like, hey, I want to like this is the goal right here, and I'm trying to get to it, but you're still trying to okay, we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
You can't reach it.
You can't.
And the only way you can find reach is if you let somebody go.
Yeah, because weight is heavy.
Really heavy.
Yeah, weight is heavy. And, at the end of the day, I'm accountable for my life. And that's another big lesson.
Ooh.
I'm accountable for my life. And I can't be accountable for you and yours.
They got to make their own decisions.
Yeah. And you see where the trajectory is going. And either you're going to speed up the pace and keep up, or either you're going to get left behind. Because I'm accountable for my life.
And that right there is real strong. Like, one of the, I can't remember the exact name, but it's one of the, like, Warren Buffett, but what basically what comes down to, you can't, if you were born poor, that's not your fault. But if you die poor, that is.
That's definitely your fault.
That's
definitely your fault. Yeah. Because there's more to it, right? And I couldn't settle. It was more to it. And that was part of my problem then. I was helping taking care of people as if I was still in the military, as if my money was still the same thing, right? Realizing that they were takers.
So you go into a whole...
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, like you bringing up some great valuable points, right, y'all? I was letting those conversation go. But it's awesome. I was like, you have some people that's want to take. And I think came from I'm paraphrasing what Joel Osteen was saying, but it basically was saying you can't really constantly be around people that's constantly taking from you and not receiving. Absolutely. Because you'll be drained. You can only do so much, and then that energy or that light that you had so much that was going to thrive you to where you want to be is not there because you spent so much of it on other people.
Absolutely. That's the reason why people are lonely and they got a bunch of people around them.
Yeah. Or in better words, egos flock together.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you don't see someone. Now, I had to be honest with this because some people may not like what I'm about to say, but it's the honest truth. If you want to be with the highly successful people or the people who you really admire, you have to walk and talk and do all the things and hang around people that are doing that.
That's above you. Absolutely.
That's above you. But if you want to be there, but you hang with people that's beneath and not trying to go there, you're not going to get there.
Ooh.
At all.
You preaching now. Yeah.
You're preaching. I'm going off.
Yeah. I mean, but that's truth, right? And it's at this level, right? It's just like the story between the chicken and the eagle, right? The eagle was hanging out with the chickens. He thought he was a chicken, right? Until a greater eagle looked down and was like, "What are you doing? You're an eagle. You don't belong on the ground, right?" But he would have never known that if a greater eagle wouldn't have, brought it to his attention, brought it to his awareness. And so, in going through that, I had to learn the power of no. Okay, and start telling people, no, I can't hang out with you. No, I can't give that to you. No, I can't talk on the phone with you all day. No, I have to discover me. I can't give all my love to you because I need to love me in the season. Yeah, and that was the biggest lesson that triggered my no. When I realized I wasn't loving me, I was loving people more than I loved myself.
Man, is this part of the second book? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, chapter this.
Yeah, and I kind of talk about this a little bit in one of my books, and so, after I ended up getting through this, and I thought that I found myself, and I was like, man, okay, I'm back making the money that I'm accustomed to. Life's sweet, Yeah. So as a woman, I'm like, okay, now it's time to get married.
Okay.
Time to get married, okay? Time to have kids, because that's the American dream, right?
I feel like you need to speak in this camera for this. So speaking like this is,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess with this
Yeah,
one. And
yeah. So, I felt like, it was time to get married, right? And I was dating guys. Guys wanted me, of course, and at the time, I was still fresh out the military, so I had my military body going on, and I ended up meeting somebody, and fell in love, and he proposed, and needless to say, it didn't work out. We got married and divorced. And that was the worst feeling in the world, because, going based off of my deep Southern roots, we believe you get married, you follow the husband.
Okay.
Yeah. I relocated to where he was. I quit that wonderful job.
So you took a huge jump.
Oh, yes. If I could say one of the biggest gifts God has given me is the gift of faith. But when I tell you that I lacked logical thinking for my boundaries at the time, that's the reason why he gives you your mind. I was so busy following my heart, and the Bible says that the heart is deceitful. And it also says that a man that follows his heart is a fool.
I told you were preaching.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm
yeah.
like,
I found that out firsthand.
Ooh.
And imagine at the top of the mountain, and it's like, man, we're living the American dream. I can relocate to where he is because I'm brilliant now. I found my niche. I can go anywhere now. And then come to a divorce, and I have to start over again, because here I am unemployed again. I can't stay out there where he is, and neither was he trying to give me anything. He was trying to ruin me. Yes, he was trying to ruin me. The hardest thing about starting over is starting over again.
That's the next book.
Yeah.
Well, the book's out. This is
Starting over again. I was unemployed.
Man, you over here dropping powerful. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
But man.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, with all this, the journey and much more, and you transforming into the person you are today. All right. So tell the audience a little bit more when it comes into you becoming the author and then the speaker, because now that they know your story, your background from the military, your struggles and all of that, and how you overcome and found yourself, and having to start over again, swallowing pride. Oh, there's so many lessons in this.
Yeah.
When did this part come in?
So it actually started from journaling, right? Because I didn't have anybody that I could be completely transparent and honest with.
That was like your outlet.
Yeah, very much so, because I learned about telling people secrets that I thought I could trust. They're gonna tell everybody else, right? And so I started journaling about my feelings, and so and trying to put a logical plan together, because I was going crazy inside my head. So I had to put it on paper.
They always say the artist that suffers the most usually writes the best.
Yeah, I had to put it on paper,
because you was like, if this doesn't get out, like I'm
gonna lose my mind. Yeah, because mind you, I'm starting over again. My pride is hurt again. I got a broken heart again. And I honestly forgot my value.
Ooh.
Yeah, just to be honest with you. And and honestly, my faith was in question at that point. Yeah, and so as I'm writing in this journal, I had the opportunity to really go back and read my old journals and see
like
where I was.
Reminder.
Yes.
So it's a good thing you did do that, because you were able to find yourself again.
Yeah, very much so, and remembering not to see like I'm starting over again as a bad thing. It was one of those situations like, if I get the opportunity to, if I did it once, I can do it again. Yeah.
And that's one thing I feel like people need to overcome, is like, oh, this is just it. Like, no, as long as you don't quit, you can still make it, because there's going to be times where you're going to face adversity and challenges and get knocked down.
Yeah.
But like any kind of fighter, the champion doesn't just arise when, not have starting offense, but a champion arises when he's able to get up when everybody else is against him or thinks he's out of the fight.
Absolutely. And that's what makes a champion, right?
And it makes it one heck of a lot relatable.
Yeah,
because then you're like, I can relate to that.
Yeah. Let's think about Mayweather, right? Everybody loves Mayweather because he hasn't lost, right? And I had to stop looking at myself as if I was one of those fighters. Like, I won this one, but I lost that one. What I realized is life. And I just got to keep fighting the fight. I haven't lost anything because I'm still living. You see what I'm saying? I haven't lost anything. I'm still living. Yeah. You know, so I'm Mayweather. Every day I get up, it's a fight, and I'm winning every single day, right? And so as I'm
just to
journaling,
add on to that before you go further, but also he has a lot of critics too.
Very.
The thing is, though, he doesn't allow that to deter him from his path. He knows his value.
And it fuels him, right? It makes him do flashy stuff all the time. It just makes him come out and piss people off all the time, right? And
but
you know,
that was like one heck of the marketing move, because honestly, and I have to give him credit, people watch and pay to see him lose, and he still wins.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Like, they can't wait for him to lose. It's the same thing. I mean, not only in boxing, but like, you know, with Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
People couldn't wait for him to get knocked out.
They were waiting on it. Yeah, they were waiting on it. And, you know, and it's powerful that you say that, because how many people are sitting around, friends, waiting on us
to fall.
Yeah, waiting on us. Yeah. But because I'm a fighter, I may get knocked down, but I'm not losing. Yeah, you can enjoy this moment, but you're gonna see me again. I'm gonna be back on the mountaintop.
I feel like a lot of this is in your speeches.
You know, it's funny that you say that. This right here, this part here is all authentic, actually. Yeah. And it goes about evolving and being able to say what I think.
But that's usually the best.
Yeah.
Because it is the original you. You're not faking it. It's coming from how you really feel.
Yes.
And that's what really connects to the people the most.
Yeah.
Because people can tell when you be.
Yeah. When it sounds great, but you don't really believe it.
You're like, what? Like, did you?
Yeah. And every year I make a different declaration for myself, right? It was embarrassing to go through a divorce, right?
Because like, man, when you told your entire family and you were thinking that, and now you got to say, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I was speaking to some women about this, and, you know, one particular woman, she kind of upset me in a way. And she was like, well, I was married, you know, X amount of years, and I lost all that time. So I'm sorry if I can't receive what you're saying. And I said to her, I said, and that's fair. I understand your standpoint. I said, but see, you lost your past. I lost my future.
Ooh.
You understand what I'm saying? I made plans for a future. And the worst feeling in the world is having hope for a stated plan and to watch it all just fade away.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of you. Yeah, so you may not want to receive that, because I don't understand what it felt like to lose my past. I lost my future, though.
Because you planned out for that. And that's what also, I feel like every little thing that you go through is like a learning lesson.
Very much so.
Even though you don't want to swallow that.
Yeah. And, you know, it's learning to pick the pieces up. And the good thing about things falling apart and it has become a hot mess, right? Is that you get to choose, well, I want this piece, I want that piece. I'm going to leave that.
Well, I definitely don't want
that.
that.
I don't want that. And you can create something new out of the pieces that are left after the storm, after the crumble of the building, right? You can make a new building. You can make something new. You can build something better. And so, you know, and that's what I try to empower people to let them know, especially people that suicide. So, like, when I get a call, I just got a call the other day about somebody who tried to commit suicide, and they were almost successful, right? And I have to remind people that, one, you're not the only person going through this, right? And you have to decide which side of the house are you going to be on. Are you going to be on the fighting side, or are you going to be a quitter? And you're not a quitter, right? And one person was kind of asking me, they was like, well, I just want to quit. Don't let your emotions take over your mind.
Yeah, because this is the strongest thing. And if that goes south, yeah.
What are you doing? And sometimes people don't realize that's a very permanent. You can't redo suicide, right? Once you're gone, you're gone. And, you know, many people commit spiritual, emotional, and mental suicide every day.
And that's why, like, I constantly, and we're all human, we go through our challenges and adversity and much more. But one thing I will say, even for myself, is I constantly feed myself positive energy and things like that.
Absolutely.
Or constantly surround myself with people that can be inspirational to my life and things
Absolutely.
like that.
Absolutely.
So you have to like constantly make sure that you learn different things and grow much more.
Absolutely. And remember, I'm a beast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a beast. I was dealing with a youth group that I used to mentor, and I used to tell them all the time, pat your chest and say I'm a beast. Because many people didn't survive what you survived. Many people haven't gone through what you've gone through, but you made it. So you're a beast. You're a beast. And it doesn't matter what anybody have to say about you. It doesn't matter what you went through. You are a beast. And what do beasts do? We come through, we knock down things, we conquer things. Anything that's in our way. Things are more afraid of us than we are of it. And the beast never confront another beast in fear.
Beast mode.
Beast mode. They'll never confront another beast in fear. They know one thing. I'm a beast, you're a beast, and I got to fight to win.
Got to.
I got to fight to win.
So, that's a lot of powerful messages. So, tell a little bit more about the book and much more. And this time, like, it's talking to that camera about it, like the title of the book so I can find it.
Yeah, so it's a number of books.
Go ahead, take your time.
So the first book is Majestic Move, in the struggle with straddling the fence. And it talks about being able to find yourself through your spirituality with God, right? And understanding that you and God walk in a place of alignment, and that if you expect manifestations in your life, you have to be able to speak it and know how to present it and how to do it, right? The other book is called The Me Within. And so this right here talks about identifying challenges that I went through and how I turned into who I am today. And many times we have issues that's the root of the problem, and it happened when we were a child, but we're still carrying it into our adulthood, right? And so it's just helping us identify who we are. And my books are very transparent, very practical. It just shares my life story, and you can find all of my books on www.majesticmove.com, and it's www.majestic, majestic, move, moves.com. And so you can find it there. You can also find my books on Amazon. And so I also do speaking events as well. And so they can reach me at nancysmith@majesticmove.com as well. Or call me. I let people call me directly.
Should
Yeah.
business line?
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead and spit that because that's the most easiest to remember.
Yeah.
So what's your business line number?
It's 832-800-4861.
Awesome. Ooh, you dropped a lot of different jewels and much more. I'm just listening. So I was like, okay, she got it. Yeah. Much more. So any other future projects coming out before we close everything up?
So I don't have any books coming out as of right now. I have one that I'm really working on, and I think this may be specifically for the women because this says transform single to prepare for marriage. And so it's just talking about everything that I've learned and examining me as a person and my character. And when I say transform single to prepare for marriage, it may not necessarily be marriage to a person. It could be marriage to a business, right? And identifying if your character will sustain you at that next level and what you need to identify about you. And so I have a speaking event coming up in New Jersey, March 15th. At the One Woman Conference, the Fearless Summit. So that's what I have coming up as of now.
Awesome. Well, I'm just a listener and viewer just like everybody else that happens to be the host. She basically took over the host now. Well, as we end and wrap this up, it's your host Chris Summers, always on Next Level Thinking, helping you bring it to the next level. And I have my special guest by the name of
Nancy Smith.
Awesome. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. It's going to be on Apple Podcasts and much more. And make sure you keep that out there so we can help people take it to the next level and remember that they have greatness within them. Peace and much love.
Bye.